Why do you think this was a difficult decision, and why were there differences among states?
No, basically it is going to have revenue loss for the states. And any loss, they want to assess it properly, the extent to which the loss will be there on account of revenue. And that is probably the reason why they have deferred it. But then what is important is whether you really consider insurance as a necessity. And from that point of view, I think even if there is revenue loss or a substantial revenue loss, I will say, still it is advisable that the consumers get benefit of reduced tax rates on insurance. It was proposed that on term insurance and health insurance, it will be reduced to zero. And maybe for 60 plus on any amount beyond 5 lakhs on health insurance. But then that has not happened. It's disheartening that the consensus was not established. Effort should be made to do that. A lot of homework is required to be done. Probably that was not done by DFS or whatever, whosoever was responsible for that. And I was surprised that West Bengal government, which initially supported the reduction of GST on insurance, has now sought for certain additional clarification. This is what is informed. So what is important is it has to be reduced. Now the question is when. And so long as a decision is not taken, it is going to impact the life insurance and health insurance industry badly, because people are waiting for its reduction. So they are not coming forward for new business. So this is not a good sign. Whatever decision you want to take, you should take quickly and not keep on deferring it. But then it appears that now it will only in the next financial year. Effective date will be next financial year. So let us wait and see, because we can't do anything. We are helpless. Consumers are always helpless.
Yeah. Right. Do you have any hope? And as you said, more work should have been done prior to this meeting. And we're actually seeing this with a lot of decisions that the GOM report, for example, on rate rationalization was not submitted. On insurance, now inputs have to be sought from IRDAI. All this could have been done earlier. So are you hopeful that in the next few years, possibly by the next meeting, we could have a decision?
Should be. Because if at all not now, then when? Because this has been talked about for a long time. And it's not so difficult to arrive at these figures. They are all available in the public domain. So why is it that they should take longer time for compiling these figures and submitting? The problem probably appears to be even the insurance companies, because if it is reduced to zero, they will lose the input tax credit, which they are now getting. But then taking that input tax credit into account, what is the net revenue loss to the state government should have been worked out in advance. Why it was not done, I don't know.
Right. So clearly more work needs to be done, and possibly more consensus as well. What do you think, Nilesh?
No, it's always decisions are by consensus. But I don't think it is difficult to get consensus on this, because right from the cabinet minister, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, everybody is advocating that since it is a necessity of life, there is no justification for charging GST, and that too at such a high rate of 18%. We are not charging it on other necessities of life, like food grains and others. So why is it that it should be charged? And moreover, this is the responsibility of the state and central government to provide for health insurance. They are not doing that properly. And that is the reason why people have to buy health insurance. And when they are buying from their own pocket, it is absolutely disheartening to find that it is being charged at 18% when they are paying premium from their own pocket. So government is unnecessarily trying to make money out of it, which they should not. This is my frank opinion on this.
Completely. What do you expect by the next meeting, and how can we go about building consensus?
Consensus cannot be built on its own. Somebody has to make efforts to build consensus. And I think it is the role of finance minister to build consensus. And for that, it is necessary that necessary clarifications which are asked for by the respective finance ministers of various states are given well in time. And it's thought over that how it will benefit the economy as such. Because just look at some figures. The insurance sector has contributed to over 25 lakh crores of GSECs in central government, and over 13 lakh crores in state government securities. Now, ultimately, this money is going for developmental purposes. You should not undermine the importance of insurance sector. And if at all people shy away from going to insurance because of high GST, then where from government will get money for developmental purposes like infrastructure and everything? There's a huge amount. No other financial sector, maybe banks or mutual funds, they contribute such huge amounts of money in government securities. So some sort of favorable treatment needs to be given to insurance sector, and which finance minister ultimately has to ensure that consensus is arrived at. As I said, revenue loss is bound to be there, but then they should be compensated some way or the other, or they should be told that, okay, we are coming out with some other scheme whereby you will get compensation for this revenue loss. So efforts need to be taken. It cannot be automatic. And I think that is the role of finance minister, which he must do.